Hi everybody, it's Brett Gale, Executive Director of Chifley Research Centre. Welcome to Chifley Facebook Live. I'm joined today with Thomas Frank, American historian and political author, who we've brought out to Australia. Hi Thomas, welcome to Sydney.
It is great to be here, Brett, in your beautiful town.
Excellent, thank you. So Thomas has written a number of books that are very important in American politics in recent years. What's the Matter with Kansas and Listen Liberal, both of which look at the decline of the Democratic Party and its loss of support across working class Americans. So Thomas, to bastardise the title of one of your books, What's the Matter with America? Why did working class Americans support Donald Trump?
It's a big question, okay? It's a big question. They didn't, what's happened in my country is not that the working class as a whole has gone over to the Republican Party. It's that a section of it has, but enough to make a hell of a difference, a big difference in the U.S. And it tends to be white working class voters. And this has been going on for a long time, ever since the 1960s and 70s. And it gets worse every couple of years. And, this is the story of our time. This is, I've been working all my life, Brett, on how the American right came to power in the United States and how they did what they did and how that then, has been exported to the entire world. And this is the mystery that plagues me, because what the American right has done, and Trump is only the latest iteration of it, the most outrageous iteration, but going back to Ronald Reagan and even going back to Richard Nixon, what the right has done has been disastrous for most people in America. And yet, we're a democratic society, and so in a sense, we did this to ourselves. And you can find many, many examples as you go around America of places whose fortunes are in steep decline, and as they go into that decline, they become Republicans. That's when they sign on to this the sort of the politics of the right. And this is a fascinating story for me because it's so counterintuitive. And it's a long story, and it's a disaster story. It's a story with a terrible, awful ending that's named Donald Trump.
And is Donald Trump still connecting with those working class voters, and how's he doing it?
That's a hard question to answer. My suspicion is that he is. Look, I live in an environment where it's anti-Trump all day, every day, constantly, and nobody can stand him, and everybody mocks him all the time. But I suspect that the sheer unanimity of that, the sort of right-thinking columnist world in America that I inhabit, their unanimous hate for Trump is perceived by the rest of the country as being something very different. I also think that what ultimately matters to most people, or what ultimately will matter, is the state of the economy. And the economy in the U.S. is actually doing quite well right now. I don't know if that's if it's well enough to rescue Trump or to rescue the Republican Party in the midterms, but we'll see in the next couple of years whether or not that's enough to keep Trump's popularity up.
You've also written about how Democrats have, over the last 30 years, ignored their working class base to their own electoral peril. What lessons do we in Australian progressive life need to take heed of?
Okay, so the inflection point in that story is that after the Vietnam War, the Democratic Party decided that they wanted to basically cut labor loose. Okay, and they wanted to remove organized labor from its positions of power in the Democratic Party, and they did this. And they decided. By the way, this was all done openly. None of it was secret. This is all covered in the press. It's been written about many times. They decided at the same time that they were going to reach out for a new constituent group, that was more attractive to them, and that was sort of the young kids coming out of the elite college campuses at the time, who they came to call the professional class. And this is who the Democrats decided would be their new, this affluent, suburban, white-collar people who are by and large, doing very well. And this is who the Democrats decided they would reach out to, and they have successfully become a party that speaks to that class and represents that class very well, and wins those parts of America very handily. And this has been, it's very comfortable for a certain kind of Democrat. Their world, the world really fits together. It makes ideological sense, and they're very prosperous, and they're very contented people. However, a party of the left that is not really concerned about working class issues, about issues of the workplace, issues of the declining middle class, that sort of thing, or is only concerned about it in a nominal way, that is disaster in the long run, and that has permitted a demagogue like Donald Trump to show up and to steal away a big part of the Democratic base, and that is precisely what's happened.
So can you give us a hopeful message at least?
No.
There's a
No.
there is a chapter in your latest book which has just come out, Rendezvous with Oblivion, which
hopeful title.
Hopeful title. But there is a hopeful chapter that says how the Democrats can win if they want to.
How the Democrats could win.
Without spoiling the book, because people might want to buy it. How can they win if they want to?
They need to get back into. Well, I mean, let's put it in a kind of quasi-religious sense. They need to get back in touch with their own soul and with their own history and who they are. As a party founded by Thomas Jefferson, this is a party that should be intimately concerned with the fortunes of working people, and they have walked away from that over the years. They need to get back in touch with that, and I think, look, there's a lot of these Trump voters, white working class Trump voters, that are never coming back, and this gets worse every couple of years. But there's a lot of them that you could reach, that you could peel away from the Republicans. There's enough of them that it's this could be done, and it also. I don't think it would be all that hard. You can, especially you look at the inequality in the United States. I mean, this is a country that is coming apart, where the middle class is disintegrating in the United States, and people are furious about this. They are angry all the time. There has got to be a way for a party of the left to capture that anger. And the fact that, I say that, and I'm kind of joking with you here, because it should be obvious that a party of the left should be able, to capture that anger. But it's so the Democratic Party of the U.S. is. They find this absolutely impossible to imagine how they might reach out to those people, how they might start talking about inequality in a way that makes sense. I mean, they talk about it all the time. Barack Obama, remember, used to give speeches about it. I loved listening to that guy. Great orator. But how they actually, run a presidential campaign or any kind of campaign that takes advantage of what's happening in our country now, they don't know. It seems like it would be an easy thing to figure out, but no, they haven't done it. Sorry. I'm really sorry about that.
That's okay. Thomas, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming down there. We'll be seeing you at a number of public events for Chifley over the next couple of days.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful country.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, everybody.